outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. Since we've no place to go.
Hello everyone, this is Denise at Something Beautiful Handcrafts, and this is day 2 of Vlogmas. I'm going to answer that question, the favorite question everyone loves to ask crafters. So, what are you making for Christmas? And my answer is really different than some of the other people I've, talked to about this. And I kind of hate to be a party pooper, but Christmas is not really about gift giving for my family. And it hasn't been probably since I've been a teenager. It's a religious holiday for us. And so there are other things that we do and other traditions that we follow. And the whole gift exchange thing just is not really one of them. And honestly, I don't know what my brothers do with their families. I've never actually had one of the kids come up to me and say, well, this is what I got for Christmas. And I've never actually really asked them because it's just not really a part of our larger family celebrations that we do during Christmas. So the answer is, what am I making for Christmas? Not really anything. It's just not kind of a thing that we do. Now, with that said, it is winter. And as a fiber artist, there are things I make during winter. And I make them dependent on what the kids need and what everybody else needs or might need, during the winter times. And I don't necessarily wait till Christmas to give these items because winter in Ohio starts well before Christmas. So usually as the season, progresses or starts, goes into the winter season, I will try to find out what is needed and then make something. And when I'm done with it, I hand it out, whether it's, November 25th or December 10th. So it's not really a Christmas thing. And then too, as I've been doing this fiber arts thing for a very long time. So you can imagine I have given out hats, scarves, all that kind of stuff for years. So the adults don't really need any more of that stuff. They've got more stuff than what they need, plus whatever it is that they buy. I know I see scarves places and I buy them and I make them. So, and I'm pretty much full up with the stuff that I'm making. I don't need another shawl, another scarf, another hat. I just don't need anything else. I pretty much make my fill. I could probably go 20, 30 years and not need to make anything. At this point, I'm just making stuff for videos. That's kind of odd, but it's true. And the kids, I could replace their stuff every year when they were little kids because they grow out of it. But as they have gotten older, at least my nieces anyway, they have the stuff. And sometimes I have to force them to say, you know what, you guys, that's like 2 years old. You barely fit it. Get rid of it and I'll make you something different. So they're getting to the stage where they don't need a new scarf, hat, mitten set every year. So it kind of limits me making stuff. And I have a really small family, just mom and dad and my 2 brothers, their wives, and they have 2 kids apiece. So it's not like I have a lot of people to make stuff for. And they're really, really young. So if they have kids, you're talking about 20 years down the line, 15, 20 years down the line. So, I'm not really worried about great nephews and nieces. So it's a really small family to make things for. So after a while, you just kind of run out of stuff. So I'm not really making anything. Now, that said, because I didn't go to any of the craft shows, well, they didn't have them because of the whole COVID-19 situation, I had an excess of stuff that I had picked up the year before in preparation for these shows. And I don't have that kind of storage anymore. And besides, I don't like really storing that stuff for too long. I don't like it. And I don't really have a place where I would think it's safe, where it's not going to become moldy or something like that. So I really wanted to get this yarn used and out of the way. So I spoke with my brothers and tried to figure out what it is that they would want, for this winter season. And I mean, everybody's at home, so it's not like they're going to go out anywhere and wear this stuff. So I was kind of like, oh, well, but hey, why not? Just go ahead and make it. They can wear it around the house or shoveling snow out the driveway or to church services, the few we're still having. Okay, so anyway, let me show you what I made. Okay, this is a set for my niece, one of the nieces, and she has the long fingerless mitts. Now, these were all made with the Centro, and basically this is, oh, you know what? I can't even tell you how many rows that is. Maybe 80 rows, about 80 rows, and fold the tube in half, and then I crocheted a double crochet ruffle stitch around the edges, and this is just a single crochet around the bottom, and I left it kind of open here to give that room for that wrist to come, and it's a thumb slit. Really nice long length. A nice slouching beanie. I didn't put a palm on top of hers. And then she has a pocket scarf to match with the same ruffle here. A nice deep pocket on both sides. That's the first niece. Second niece, she's got a heavier weight yarn, more colors. Technically, it's reversible, but once you put the beanie on, that's kind of the end of the reversible. And this one I closed with the slip stitch to gather both layers, and then an X on the inside. And I did that because my brother was saying that the ones that are just gathered at the top like that were really pointy, so I figured I'd try it this way. But this way is a lot more work than just gathering it, so I'm only going to do it for his. And she got a scarf. I was going to make the pocket scarf for her too, but decided not to. Just because I didn't want to bother with trying to match up the stripes in this case. And I don't know how it would bother her, but it certainly would bother me. And that's a nice heavy scarf. So it's those two. And then for the other brother, I made a matching turban for his wife, and a hat for him, and they're going to be matching hats for his two kids. I think I might put a little sparkle on hers, or a charm or something like that. I have to check that out. Also for my nieces, I know you've been seeing this little thing over here, and if you don't know what it is, it's an advent calendar, and it's a countdown to Christmas. And I've been so obsessed with it that it only occurred to me the other day that December 1st was yesterday, but then we were snowed in. So there was no way for me to get it to them. So basically, we're under a foot of snow. And I think I'll go ahead and insert the footage for the foot of snow at the end of this video. If maybe you're somewhere like Hawaii and you just want to see how terrible snow we get up here in Ohio. So I'll put that at the end. It's about a minute worth of footage. But anyway, so I'm just going to call them on the phone. And last year there was a scripture verse inside here and the pieces of candy. So I made them promise to read the verse first and then have the candy. And this year I was thinking that I was going to put an QR code in here and they could scan it and do it with their phones. But instead, I picked out 25 Christmas songs, and we're going to sing the Christmas songs each day before they have the candy. So I'll have the Christmas song list attached to the back of the advent calendar, and it lights up and everything. I was going to do some staining and all kind of stuff on it, but I just kind of like it the way it is. So I'll spray it with a clear coat. Maybe I would burn the numbers on here, put the candy in, and get it to them probably by the end of this week or whenever they plow the roads. So that's just kind of the thing for them. Also, what I've been doing, like I said, because everybody has a ton of fiber stuff already, I also do resin. And I have this resin ornament mold. And I had an example to show you, but I left it Sunday. So I'll probably pour another one. It takes about 3 days for these things to cure. So, and well, resin is a whole different story. Anyway, so I've been making resin keychains. And for my fiber friends, let me see if I can get that close enough that you can see it. You can't really see it. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. But there's a ball of yarn in there and a skein of yarn with 2 things that are supposed to be knitting needles. So I'm going to send those off to my fiber friends. And I've also been trying to figure out how to, put some kind of fiber theme into the coasters. And this right here is roving. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is knit a tiny little snowflake, lay the snowflake in the resin, and maybe put some little knitting needle type things in there, just to be like a little knitting keepsake for my fiber friends. And last but not least is this hat. Going with my theme from yesterday, I have these Christmas colored yarns. First it was a scrubby yarn, then there's this acrylic yarn, and I also have the Christmas colored sock yarn. So I'm going to make the sock with that in the next set of videos. Okay, so anyway, I got the yarn maybe last November. I don't know. In anticipation of making hats for the upcoming craft shows. Like I told you, the Centro was all about something quick I could make at a different price point for those who could not afford the hand knit wool hats, or didn't want to afford the hand knit wool hats, or just wanted something quick, didn't want something wool, because not everybody wants to hand wash wool items, which of course is why all of my kit stuff is in acrylic. So, and also for our neighborhood charity for my church. So I saw this yarn. I was like, hey, that'd be really cool. Make some quick Christmas hats for people who are Christmassy, especially the ugly sweater crowd and people who love to have those like gag hats on and festive hats on at work, which I should do when I taught. I would have those kind of things on. Kids love them. Teachers love them too. So I think I got 4 skeins. I might have only gotten 2. And well, here I am kind of stuck with this Christmas yarn. And the first time I tried cranking it, I was like, this stuff is horrible. It's one of those pulling yarns. And when you crank the pulling yarns, like even this one right here, if you crank it in reverse, it really comes out like in these weird zigzags. That happened to the army yarn too. Let me get that. Okay, so the pink camo comes out in these really weird zigzags. And so there were a couple of the yarns where I cranked them twice. Look how it turned out here. And I mean, hey, I don't want to knock it if you like it, because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just me and patterns and colors. Drives me insane. So I just was like, no, I don't like this yarn. It was all zigzaggy. So I cranked it in reverse, and this is how it looks. And actually, I want to say that I like it better like this, but I don't want to say I like it, because red and green are really just not my jam, not together. Like green, period, it's not my jam. If it was just red and white, I could go with this. But I know somebody somewhere likes the red and green, likes the festive stuff. So that's cool. Hopefully I'll find that person. I was considering turning this into a knitted wreath, but I think my potential for finding it a happy home is better as a hat. And this is a pretty nice large size, probably a men's size. And I have enough yarn for at least 2 of them. So I think I'll try to get them to find a home as a set. That'd be pretty cute. All right, basically that's all I am up to as far as gifts for this year, or just kind of things that I'm giving out for this year. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll join me for day 3 of Vlogmas 2020. And hopefully I'll get my act together. I'm in between going ahead and cranking the sock yarn for a couple of episodes, or going straight into the spinning. I mean, I've got 24 days, so if I spend 2 or 3 days on the sock yarn and then move into the spinning, you know, it's not like I've got plenty of time on my hands here. At any rate, have a great day. And it shows no signs of stopping. I have to shovel out almost a foot just to let the dogs out. I just shovel the door open. I can't even get out the side door. So to keep them from tracking up the living room, I am shoveling out so that they can come in through the side door. My neighbor's tree is down. There's hardly any traffic on the main street. Thanks for watching Williams Live Action News. I gotta get back to work.